Welcome back to Grow Joyfully Home and Garden. It is another Monday morning, August the 18th. Most of our kids are going back to public school. Some of them started last week. I have 3 grandkids that are starting school today. 2 of them for the first time, and it's definitely bittersweet. A new week, a new day to garden and enjoy the beautiful harvest. I have a lot to do, so let's get started. I feel like the garden and the growing season has gotten away from me. This is the time of year where you just have to muscle through the best you can and get everything done that you can for the upcoming fall and winter. There's a lot to harvest and a lot to process. I've really tried watering the sweet potatoes more, and I gave them a lot of that liquid fertilizer. And their color is a lot better. The whole bed looks pretty good. There's a lot of tomatoes and peppers here that aren't even going to grow to maturity. But they're pretty and they're green, so I'm just going to let them stay because I don't like to have bare soil. I'm still getting a lot of things off of this garden. More than we can even eat. We're trying to sell it at the farm stand, share it, give it away. Hopefully bless others' lives. I'm really enjoying this lovely crazy tower. There's a lot of rattlesnake beans, there's sun gold cherries, and I haven't even seen any of the scarlet runner beans yet, so we'll have to see if those even turn out. But there's a lot of picking to do. They're just so pretty. It's 66 degrees now, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's supposed to only get up into the 80s. I really hope that's true, because we're going to the county fair together as a family this afternoon, and it could be really hot down there. So I'm hoping that the temperature will be lower today. It would be really nice to be able to be down there and not be suffering so much from the heat. I know it's really hard on the animals, although they keep the buildings really quite well air conditioned. The bean plants on this cattle panel are looking a little rough, and I really hope they hang in there for at least 2 or 3 more weeks. I'll keep picking the beans and fertilizing them, the same with the cucumbers over there. I really enjoy these cattle panel hoops. They make the garden so much more fun and inviting. And I'm just hoping that these plants will stay with me. A lot of them are getting tired and spent, but I'm going to leave them as long as possible. It's time to do a check-in with these lima beans and see how they're doing. This is my first year growing them, and I think they're quite fascinating. Still trying to settle once and for all the debate on, are these lima beans considered butter beans? I think they are. A lot of people have responded that it depends on what they call them in that region. I'm hoping that if I let them grow to full maturity and start going to seed, that's what will produce my light colored butter bean. I'm very excited for that, but it's very interesting, this experiment, to see how they grow, see their growing habits, and see what they're going to turn out to be. So we'll keep you posted on their progress. I always like to start my garden inspection out here in the main garden, and then it makes it really hard for me to get to the pasture garden. But today I really got to do that and see if the tomatoes are doing okay, and get some cucumbers and watermelon watered, and if there's any tomatoes to pick. So right now I am picking some wonderful wax beans and green beans, of course checking on the cucumber wall, and I've already picked this many. So just in this little garden here, this is what I've harvested so far in about 15 minutes. So the harvest is on. The harvest is great. I'm very grateful for the bounty, and I'm totally overwhelmed. How about you? What's going on in your gardens? How are you preserving your fruit and vegetables this year? Freezing, canning, let me know down in the comments below. I'm really enjoying these wax beans this year. They're so beautiful and they taste really good. A couple days ago I made up a 3-bean salad and put it in the refrigerator. So I'm letting it marinate, and then we're going to try to eat it for dinner, but not tonight, not tomorrow night because we have things on, but Wednesday night. If you've ever canned 3-bean or 4-bean salad before, please let me know. I'm trying to find a recipe for it, but I really can't. Now, you don't normally water bath can green beans. You have to pressure can them. But because I'm pickling them in a 3-bean salad, it should be fine, but I want to find out for absolute sure. So if you know anything about it, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to take all the beans out of this bed out and let the sweet banana pepper and the lavender and the bell pepper have much more room and be able to grow better. So these are pretty much spent. I'm going to pick off what they have on them, and then we're just going to take them out and give the bed a little bit of a break. You can tell when I start putting pots on the west side of the garden here that I'm trying to get all the sun I possibly can for these plants, because it will be a miracle if they produce anything. So the season is steadily moving on, and it's changing, and we are adapting to the change. There are few things as sweet as a sun gold cherry tomato when it's really ripe. Chocolate sprinkles are very wonderful too, but I would have to say that this cherry tomato is the best. Well, I finally achieved my goal of removing the flat Italian bean that was growing up the little teepee that I had made for it. I don't need any more flat Italian beans as far as eating or selling at the farm stand. It was crowding my volunteer chocolate sprinkles plant. So I've put a few more little stakes here to the chocolate sprinkles plant and have reinforced it. And I also have harvested some red zinnias here, as well as some of the pink ones over here. I think if you harvest them, they'll grow back even more beautiful. So I've got this whole pile here that I'm going to take in the house and try to make a little bouquet out of it. So I accomplished getting that Italian flat bean out of there, and staking up and strengthening the chocolate sprinkles plant. And I've harvested some zinnias, picked a lot of beans, got some cucumbers, some little cherry tomatoes, and I need to make my way out to the pasture garden. It's already 10:30. It's getting hot, and I've got to go see what's going on out there with the tomatoes. So I'm going to take this in the house, and we'll see you back out at the pasture garden. These are the very last of the blackberries for the year. It's been a wonderful year for blackberries. We've gotten so many, and I've enjoyed them so much. We have a kind neighbor across the street who is elderly, and he can't get over to his bushes. So my son and daughter-in-law and grandson have already gone over and picked some, and we really appreciate that. So say goodbye to the blackberries for this year. Well, I made it out to the pasture garden. The corn is growing beautifully, taller and taller and taller, and it looks like the silk is drying up a little bit on some of the corn cobs. We're going to have to keep an eye on it, that it doesn't get too far mature and then start being all starchy. I let the chickens out, and they are very happy, running around and squawking. The paths once again need to be mown in here, and I need to see if there's any monster zucchinis hiding. I was in here on Saturday, and I picked a few for my sister, but when you turn your back, they do grow. And I am a living example of how you can reach down through the weeds and pick vegetables and just enjoy them, and really try hard to ignore the weeds. Don't let it bother your happiness with your garden. Since I fertilized these tomatoes and we've been watering them carefully, they're really starting to come on. And this yellow brandywine plant has set some beautiful fruit. I really hope I get some gorgeous tomatoes. You know, not too many to totally overwhelm me, but when you grow 9 cattle panels full of tomatoes, plus you have some in the main garden, it's bound to happen. I had, looks like 4 plants successfully grow on this area here. You can see the bindweed coming through in these holes that I had cut for seeds. And you can see that it's just trying to push through this weed screen. That's how healthy my weeds are here. It's just disgusting. Well, believe it or not, I only found 1 zucchini, a small zucchini at that, but I did pick very heavily 2 days ago. The tomatoes are setting fruit. They are very delayed this year, but at least there's going to be some fruit. This is an orange jazz plant, and it really does beautifully. I think I've mentioned to you before that it has kind of this firmer, crunchier little center. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But they turn out to be a beautiful color. They're very prolific, and they're a great plant to grow. I try very hard to keep my seeds separated. And this tag says triple crop, and it is nothing like it. So this is either a terracotta grape or a little icicle tomato. Could be even a San Marzano. We'll have to wait till it gets bigger so we can tell what it is. This yellow oxheart plant is really setting fruit. It looks like this is one that grew together because it looks like a monster, but you can see the 2 separate fruits that have grown together. That is just huge. Look at all this. I'm afraid it's going to break the plant. Hopefully some of them will start ripening up soon so I can take them off. I've only grown the Amish paste 2 or 3 years, and it has never disappointed me. It's an amazing, amazing tomato. It's very prolific. The tomatoes are huge. Sometimes they do split, but it depends on how much water they get. This lovely plant is that little terracotta grape. I don't know what variety it is, but that's what I've named it. So I'm going to do some picking of this and some sweet 100s and some flame orange. They're a very prolific, good tomato, very reliable. Look at the lovely chocolate sprinkles. I'm going to have a lot of these this year. I'm so excited. And the beautiful indigo apple tomato. We are most definitely going to have wonderful tomatoes, even though they are delayed. I often get this, so I shouldn't be surprised. I was spoiled last year by having tomatoes at the end of July. But typically, this is how my year goes. But can you believe those Anna Russians? Look at the size of that. I hope it doesn't break off. I should probably support it with some string or something. But they are so amazing. The Thorburns terracotta have been incredible this year. They've never been this big. Yes, they do split here and there, but they're my earliest tomato, except for the cherry tomatoes that get ready to go. Let's see. This is my first year for the Holy Myrrh-bearer tomato. And to say that it's gone crazy is an understatement. I just need to cut all these back. Between that and the Anna Russian, I'm going to have so many paste tomatoes. It's amazing. Here's my Big Hill Determinate, and I really do like it. It's got an incredible color, and it'll be done sooner than the rest. But look at that beautiful thing. That's prize-worthy. I'm kind of sad that I never got to take any vegetables in the fair, but that is okay. Here's a pink oxheart, very similar to the Anna Russian, and I think it's kind of looking similar to the Holy Myrrh-bearer. But look at the size of those. That's usually what I get. Huge, gorgeous, beautiful tomatoes. As my husband and I get older, we've really noticed that we're going to have to scale back how much garden that we have. If we wanted to, maybe we could make a little pavilion and a fire pit and a pergola out here. Just make it so, even if we have to just mow it, because we can't keep up with the weeds. Another thing I want to make sure I do is to really pare down on the variety of tomatoes that I grow each year. Now, I threatened that last year and it did not happen. It's just really fun for me to grow all these varieties. But then it causes all the burden of abundance where I have to make sure I put it away, try to sell it at the farm stand, give it away to friends, and it gets to be a heavy burden. So I want to use my head and garden smarter. These are lovely tomatoes. I can't believe that I just went to the store and bought a little container of these. I think they weren't even this big. And since then, I've been growing them, saving the seed for at least 2 or 3 years, and they've been incredible producers. My older daughter has invited me to go raspberry picking at a YouPick berry place right close here. So I'm going to end this video here and wish you a wonderful day. Hope you're doing great in your gardens, getting a lot done, getting a lot of produce, but also encourage you to pace yourself, be careful of the heat, and be careful of pushing yourself too hard, too fast, and wearing yourself out. That is a real problem we have to worry about this time of year. So, cut yourself some slack. Thanks for coming by today. I really appreciate your love and support. I love watching your videos. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.